Liam wasn't your typical time traveler. He didn't have a sleek, chrome-plated machine or a dramatic swirling vortex. His method was far more mundane, an antique pocket watch he'd inherited from his eccentric great-aunt Mildred. It hummed faintly, a deep resonating purr that only he could hear, and occasionally, with a particularly strong jolt of static electricity in the air, it would simply skip. Not Liam himself, but the fabric of reality around him. One Tuesday, while Liam was attempting to unclog his kitchen sink, the watch gave a particularly violent thrum. The next thing he knew, his overflowing sink was replaced by a bubbling cauldron, and the distinct aroma of scorched cabbage filled the air. He was no longer in his modest apartment, but in a dimly lit, stone-walled hut. A woman with a severe bun and an impressive collection of wart-like moles was glaring at him over a wooden spoon. "Well, fancy meeting you here, young man," she rasped, her voice like gravel being dragged over slate. "Lost, are we? Or perhaps you finally decided to deliver those nude eyes I ordered last week?" Liam, still clutching his plunger, stammered, "Nude eyes?" "I think there's been a misunderstanding." The woman cackled, a dry, rustling sound. "Misunderstanding," he says. "You're the new apprentice, aren't you? From the future, if your outlandish garb is anything to go by. Thought I'd seen the last of those strange textiles when the last time-slipped one tried to introduce cellular phones to the villagers. Caused quite a stir, that did." Liam's eyes widened. "Others?" "Oh, plenty," she waved a dismissive hand. "The watch, Mildred's, isn't it? Gets a bit temperamental with the temporal currents. Anyway, you're here now. And you're late. Those toadstools won't sort themselves, will they?" And so, for the next 3 days, Liam, the reluctant time traveler, found himself sorting poisonous toadstools, grinding questionable herbs, and attempting to explain the concept of indoor plumbing to a medieval witch named Alara. He even managed to inadvertently invent a rudimentary form of a potato peeler using a sharpened stick and a particularly stubborn root vegetable, much to Alara's grudging admiration. His eventual return was as sudden and unremarkable as his departure. One moment, he was stirring a concoction that smelled suspiciously like old socks and regret. The next, he was back in his kitchen, the sink still overflowing, the plunger still in his hand. The only difference was the faint, lingering scent of scorched cabbage and a small, perfectly peeled potato sitting on his counter. Liam smiled. He still hadn't fixed his sink, but he had a story to tell, even if no one would ever believe it. And somewhere, in another time, a medieval witch was probably wondering where her new, incredibly efficient root skinning device had gone.